Welcome. Today we're going to get you feeling really confident when you describe people in German. We're going to move way beyond the basics and give you all the words you need to talk about everything, from a first impression to who someone really is on the inside. Ready? Let's dive in. You know that feeling, right? We've all been there. You want to say so much more than just, he is nice, but your brain just can't find the right words. Well, today we're going to fix that. We are going to build an amazing vocabulary toolkit one step at a time. So where do we even begin when we meet someone? Well, usually with what we can see. So we're going to start with a vocabulary for physical appearance, or as they say in German, das Aussehen. Okay, our anchor word for this entire section is this noun right here, das Aussehen. It's the word for someone's entire physical appearance. Think of it as the big picture, before we zoom in and get to all the details. Let's start with the most basic thing you notice, height. Is someone groß, which means tall, or are they klein, meaning small or short? For instance, you could say, Mein Bruder ist sehr groß. My brother is very tall. Simple as that. Now let's talk about a person's build. We have dick, which means fat or thick, and its opposite is dünn, for thin. It's worth remembering that German can be a pretty direct language, so while these words are totally normal, you'd still want to use them with a little bit of care, just like you would in English. Now this is where it gets really interesting, because we're talking about nuance. Schlank is a really positive or neutral way to say someone is slim, but mager is more like skinny, and it can even have a slightly negative feel to it, like someone is too thin. So you see, choosing the right word is absolutely key. Okay, now for the big words on attractiveness. On one end of the spectrum, you have schön for beautiful, and on the complete other side, you have hässlich for ugly. These are really strong words that paint a very, very clear picture. But of course, life isn't always so black and white, is it? Hübsch is a fantastic word for pretty or handsome, used all the time. And attraktiv is an easy one. It means attractive. These give you much better, more nuanced ways to give someone a compliment. All right, we've covered height and build. Now let's focus on one of the most noticeable features on a person, their hair. In German, that's die Haare. Describing hair is actually pretty straightforward. You just combine an adjective with Haare. So, for example, sie hat lange blonde Haare. She has long blonde hair. Or hat kurze schwarze Haare. She has short black hair. See? You're just stacking these little building blocks. Okay, let's add a few final defining details. You might mention ein blasses Gesicht for a pale face, and here is a super useful verb. Tragen, which means to wear. You use it for both beards, trägt einen Bart, and for glasses, sie trägt eine Brille. Really handy. Okay, we've painted a picture of the outside, but that's only half the story, isn't it? Now, we're going to go deeper. We're moving beyond the surface to talk about what someone is really like on the inside, their character. And our keyword for this section is der Charakter. This is all about who a person is on the inside. For me, this is where descriptions get really personal and interesting. Let's kick things off with a big one, friendliness. Is someone freundlich? A great synonym for this, by the way, is nett, which just means nice. Or are they the opposite, unfreundlich? This is a fantastic German concept. Sympathisch does not mean sympathetic. It means likable, someone you just get a good vibe from. Its opposite, unsympathisch, describes someone you just don't really click with. What about their manners? A person can be höflich, which is polite, or unhöflich, which is impolite or rude. You can probably see the pattern here with that un prefix that creates the opposite meaning. How about integrity? You can describe someone as ehrlich, honest. And hey, there's that same prefix again. The opposite is unehrlich. It's a similar pattern for loyalty, where you have treu for loyal and untreu for disloyal. What's their work ethic like? Are they fleißig, which means hardworking and diligent? Or are they the complete opposite, faul, meaning lazy? Let's talk about courage. Someone who is brave is mutig, but someone who is fearful or anxious is ängstlich. And that makes perfect sense because it comes from the word Angst, which literally means fear. And what about their mind? Well, you can describe someone as intelligent. The opposite is dumb. But just be careful, it's a pretty strong word. In everyday conversation, Germans will often use softer, more colloquial words like doof or blöd. This slide here covers a whole range of moods and temperaments. For someone's general energy, you could use ruhig for calm or nervös for their general mood. You've got fröhlich for cheerful and traurig for sad. And finally, are they lustig, funny, or are they more ernst, a serious type? These pairs really help you paint a full picture of someone's personality. So, we've covered appearance and we've covered character. Now let's just take a quick step back and put it all together to see the full picture. And here it is, your new toolkit, all in one place. On the left, everything for Aussehen, the physical description. And on the right, all those keywords for Charakter, their personality. This is a great slide to screenshot as a quick reference for the two main categories we've talked about. And so we'll end with a question for you to think about. When you describe someone, what do you focus on first? Their appearance, their Aussehen, or their personality, their Charakter? You know, having the vocabulary for both is really the key to bringing a person to life in a new language.